Let's go, let's go. Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. This is New York from New York in your city, and the place to be. Let's wait till everybody gets on. What up, what up, what up? Everybody should be starting to get on. We're going live. What up, what up? Where everybody at? Fun with girls. How you doing? Bree, what's happening? Had none of sons. What's going on? Thank y'all for coming up in the place to be. Get ready to kick off this live here. Waiting for everybody to get on in because we ready to go. Mr. Hey Boo, hey, what's happening, fam? You still in LA? Man, you know I was jealous you was in LA without me. I was jealous. I was jealous. I was definitely jealous. But man, what's going on, man? Wait for everybody to get on in here. Wait for everybody to get on in. Make sure y'all can hear me loud and clear. Y'all hear me loud and clear. Give me thumbs up. Outcast, what's happening? Good to see you again for the day. Because I know I caught you earlier today. And for everybody to get on, because we're going to kick this off. You back in Texas? Okay. Well, Mr. Abel, hey, I know I'm going to hit you up. I know you was talking about a business venture. I want to hear about it, hear what you got going on, and, you know, kind of chop it up. See how my buddy doing. I'm actually coming down to Texas. I'm actually going to be down there March 7th in Dallas for an event. But definitely going to hit you up so we can chop it up and whatnot. But, man, I know you've been on the move. You've been on the move all the whole year. You done been everywhere. I ain't even been nowhere yet. I've been busy out here grinding, trying to get this channel going and whatnot. So that's what I've been doing. Wait for everybody to get up in here. Bree, how my girls doing? They doing all right? Texas boy, what's happening? Texas boy, what's happening? Wait for everybody to get up in there. Wait for everybody to get on before we get started, because I don't want nobody to miss anything. You said can't wait. Okay. I wonder what happened. My welcome sign wasn't sitting up there. That's what's missing. Wait for a few folks to get on before we get started. Got a guest of the evening is already ready to go. Me and him was already chopping it up beforehand. He's sitting ready to go. But I want to make sure everybody's on, make sure everybody can see me, make sure everybody can hear me. And also, don't forget to smash that like as you come up in here. Smash the like as you come up in here. And also, let your presence be known as you're coming in. Let your presence be known as you're coming in. Definitely, definitely. Hope everybody had a wonderful, great day today on this Thursday. What up, Mr. John? For those that's out on the East Coast that's getting hit with a storm right now, got some family members out there. Someone getting hit with a storm. Even JMalcom told me he was getting hit with a storm. Prayers up that everything blows through and nobody gets hurt. Because part of that storm did touch pieces through here. We got a little bit of the snow yesterday while I was at the parade, but that was about it. Also, parade footage is coming for those that want to see it. It's coming up, and I got the interview with Merv, and also with the Foam King. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that too. I got to finish editing that. Just today, kind of get away from me because I was busy with so much stuff today, but it's coming. Definitely is coming. I don't know if the notification didn't go out fast enough. There's usually be more people than jumping up in here. I know I did it a little earlier. I said 6:45. We're gonna kick it off. So I'll make sure I got them a little early so everybody get notifications. So waiting and waiting and waiting to see when everybody jump on, because I don't want nobody to miss nothing. Because once we get going, that's it. We just gonna get going and keep rolling. That's how we're gonna do this. John, you said I'm ready for spring, winter, and storms can go away anytime now. Man, I'm with you on that. I'm ready for it to get a little warmer, not too hot, because here we don't usually get spring that long. It'll be nice for 2 weeks and then it'll just get hot. I'm like, man, damn. So hopefully, we have some nice weather coming up here soon. I can't wait. it's like the weather's bipolar. I don't know what I want to do from one day to the next. G family, what's happening? What's happening, G family? Don't forget to smash that like as y'all roll on through. On a few folks to get in, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this. I'm glad everybody's here. Who's all here? I know everybody else will start jumping on here in a minute. The guest of the hour is here already waiting. We had a great conversation before we got started, and I was letting him know that this is going to be fun. A lot of people have a lot of questions. A lot of people that have been following him for a while. I mean, for years. So, without further ado, I know y'all tired of just seeing me talk. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. This for the special guest of the night. JMalcom, come up on in the building.
What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? What's up?
Man, not too much, man. Feeling good.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to definitely thank you for coming up in here and, taking the time out of your busy schedule, to come
no doubt.
grace the spot.
No doubt, man. It was only right. You got to support who supports you, and you're doing such a great thing. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. And like I was telling you earlier, I definitely wanted you to be a part of this because for a lot of people that are on here, a lot of DIY people are on here. And not only just that, a lot of people have followed you for over the years. And I was fortunate enough to meet you before YouTube did what it did all these years.
Right. Most definitely. Yeah, as we were chatting, you've been around a long time. A real
long time. And also, one of the things I want to mention to you, I like what my man's doing with the Blue Cutlass. It's like you motivate him to go to a whole nother level. And I love it. I definitely got to reach out to him because I want him to come on because I want him to talk about what he's doing. And man, he's doing some great things with it. But I'm gonna save that topic for when I get him on here.
Right.
Just let him know I'm looking for him.
Hey, I got you. I'm gonna let him know ASAP. We gotta get him on here. Got to.
Let him know I'm looking for him. See a few more people coming in. Some of the same people. Good nice days here in Kansas. Yeah. I keep forgetting you in Kansas too. You ain't too far from me. Yeah, we do have these nice few days here and there. Everybody, I don't know if you can see the comments. There's people throwing up thumbs up. They saying welcome.
Hey, welcome. I appreciate everybody, man. I appreciate the love for real.
And here we go. The private messages. I wasn't reading. I was popping my phone. Somebody said, "Oh shoot, I forgot the live's at 6:45 p.m. Central Time." He said, "Hold on, I'm getting on in Mountain Time. I'm getting on." I'm like, dude, get on.
They running
I ain't
late.
gonna call your name out. Just get on. Hey, that's why I tell people hit that notification bell. You won't miss nothing. Because this was the first week I'm going. I was going every day. I was going Monday through Friday this week. So, J-Man, we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. Right. A lot of people want to know, like I explained to you earlier. A lot of people want to know how you got started.
In the car game in general, or with?
Well, we're gonna get to the YouTube because somebody did ask that too. But in the car game in general, how you got started with the car game? Period.
Basically, I always have been in the cars and stuff, particularly a box Chevy. I love box Chevy. Like people, I love G bodies too. I post a lot of G body stuff. I talk about G body, but I always been a fan of a big body because way back before YouTube, that was the first old school I ever put together. It was a box Chevy. I've owned 6 or 7 of them, but the world only really familiar with one. So the box Chevy, started out, man, and people used to ask. I used to build motors for them and stuff. People like, hey, why you want to put a motor in that big car? Well, that's the thing to do. But I was doing it a long time ago, back in 2005, 2006. And
back when I first met you.
Yeah, long time. So hanging around my uncle Joe Buddy. Some of y'all watching might know Joe Buddy Racing. And
shout out to Joe Buddy Racing. Your uncle and one of my uncles was real good friends.
Right. It's a small world, man. He got me into the racing side of the thing. I was into just the big rims and all that because I've been in the big rim game a long time. That's why I got a love for the big rim game because that's what got me and stuff. So now I'm just hand in hand with everything. But I always did have a love for them, man. It just increased over time, So
what up, Mean Gene? Me and Jim, we were just talking about you before the live even started.
Yeah, man, good dude.
Yeah, JMalcom was like, "You a good dude," and I say, "Oh, he gonna be here tonight. He'll be up in here."
Yeah, man, he be showing love in the comments, man. I be watching the names and stuff, man. Like real good dude for real.
And that's another thing I tell a lot of people: when you leave comments, it don't matter how big a YouTuber you are, small, big, medium, people pay attention to the comments, especially when good comments stick out. They pay attention. And what up, Catfish?
Definitely.
Catfish Corner, the place to be. And a lot of people pay attention to that. And I know, JMalcom, you really recognize my comments because I was always known as Mr. Hashtag Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all my comments were hashtags. And I explained to I'm not even gonna call him out. I explained to him, he's a big YouTuber. I explained, well, he's big to me. Everybody else, he's like, to him, he's like, no, I'm small, but he's big. You got that many subscribers, you big to me. And he was real cool. I explained to him, I said, look, when I comment like that, do you ever try to click on them? He said, no. I said, go to one of them and click on them. He clicked on it and it went in a search. I said, now you included in that search. I said, I'm in IT. I've done some side work for YouTube and Google years ago when YouTube was first getting going. I met the two guys that started YouTube and the lady who garage they stayed in. I met all three in the same time. And the craziest thing is, they were like, yeah, hashtags is like put in a website in the URL, which is basically in your web browser. When you do that, anything that's hashtag with that name, you come up in that search. So at the end of everything, if I put hashtag subscribe, share, like, it'll come up. Or if I put hashtag just your name, somebody can just type in J or JM and you come up in it.
Right.
On YouTube. So it's actually benefiting you, whoever I'm doing it for more than it is me. But I just figure, that's the way I give back. I do it that way. And anytime somebody does that in a search box, that name or hashtag something close to it, it comes up.
And people don't realize how much that little stuff like that means. Like it help. Even a comment, just a regular comment, man, it help a lot, man. That's why, I constantly always thanking the supporters, like, I really appreciate it. It seems small to people, but it's major. Like it's major help.
It is, and I explained that on a few of my lives before, my earlier lives. I explained, and I'm explaining it now. It helps a lot leaving comments. Period. No matter what you leave. I mean, don't leave nothing crazy and something to get flagged, but you leave a nice comment. Even if you just said, man, I had one person that at the beginning when I had the other channel, they would just say, good vid. And that's all they would say was good vid, good vid, good vid,
right.
Good vid. So finally I will always look for the minute. Okay, there it is, good vid. Yeah, Mr. John, go ahead and tag Mr. Ice Cream hashtag maker. Yeah, go ahead and tag that. JMalcom, if you haven't seen, when you first go to my page, my intro, I went back home for my niece's graduation in New York, where I'm from, in Southside Jamaica, Queens. I was on Jamaica Avenue, and I found a Mr. Softy truck. Got ice cream, but then I came back and got another one on the way leaving. And some folks that live here was there visiting at the same time. Good friends from my wife. And they met up with us, and I took them around the city, and I took them to the real New York, with Southside Jamaica, Queens area. Right. And when I got ice cream, she was filming, and she filmed me. And when she has a YouTube page, too, shout out to my girl Tequila Jackson, good friend, and whatnot. And she put it on her channel. And I said, I want to use that bit. She said, you can have it. Yeah, go ahead. So she sent me she filed me the thing, and I went ahead and chopped it and cut it. And I stuck it in there. And Mr. John and a few other people, they know me for that dance.
You got your own hashtag now.
Yeah, I guess so. Because one of my cousins said, man, why are you doing this ice cream dance? What are you talking about? He said, man, my daughter was on my YouTube thing looking for how to make ice cream with the ice cream maker we bought, and all of a sudden you came up. I was like, what? And then somebody put ice cream dance. And that was Mr. John 613 that put ice cream dance. So thank you, John, for doing that.
Oh, yeah, you stepped. Yeah.
Okay, I know I'm getting off subject. So, you started with all these box Chevys that you had owned. Everybody knows the Big Beach box Chevy.
Yeah.
I remember you started with the big block. I think it was a 468. You had stroked that 454 out to.
I actually, before then, I actually had a small block. But
oh yeah, I remember small block.
I had the 355 75 shot, man. My first time ever using nitro, a little small shot, man. Hey, I thought I was riding. Man. I thought I was doing something.
Small 75, small shot.
Really wasn't nothing. 75, it wasn't nothing major, but I took that out, and that's when I built the big block, and everybody kind of got hip to it. So.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things right there. Being Mean Gene put up that we're gonna go ahead and get to it. A lot of people ask me these questions. They was like, JMalcom giving everybody a ride in that Camaro and giving them the ride of their life. And Mean Gene said something about it. So I know the promo I did, I took a couple little bits of what you had, and when I put the ladies up there, you wouldn't know how many questions people ask me. Are they single? They this, they that. Man, this about JMalcom, not about the ladies. Come on now. But being I used the pictures to put the Camaro up there. Huh?
I said, if they got questions about them, I answer them too, though. They my people, so.
Well, I figured they would want to answer them questions when I have them on here sometime.
There you go.
But one of the questions that did pop up, that just popped up on my private chat, somebody asked, how heavy are you into the workout game?
I'm into the workout game real heavy.
Because they follow that part of you on that page more than this page because they don't know a lot about cars. I can tell it's a lady. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's a lady. She just said, "Yeah, I am a lady." She said, "Yeah." She said, "I follow that, and I follow a lot of his routine." She said, "What is his normal diet day to day?" She said, "Are you on keto?"
Keto? No, I don't do keto. I don't actually do keto. With my diet, costs a lot of people. I've lost weight twice. This is my second time, 9 pounds in 180 days. So,
sound like me when I was fasting.
It's extreme, huh?
Sound like me when I did fasting.
Oh yeah. So, it's my second go around, but I don't know fat diets or anything. I fast the way it work. A well balanced diet. Count your macronutrients, your counting your calories, all of that stuff, and measuring your food out. That's just basically what I do. We want to do that because it just, it's
and a lot of work.
Consuming. Yeah, it's work. It's work. But the difference between a person having ordinary results and extraordinary. That's what I do. Just well balanced diet, and I weight train. I weight train real heavy. Every week I do it every week, whether I feel like going in there, I'm in the mode, or whether I'm not in the mode, I still get in there and I get it done. So it's really nothing secretive I'm doing. It's just a balanced diet. I don't eat fast foods. I don't drink colored liquids either, though. I drink straight water. I don't drink no colored liquids at all. So.
Okay. And also she asked, I know it has nothing to do with the cars, but hey, she asked all these questions. She said, do you prefer working out by yourself or with a partner?
I like working out by myself. That's just how I am, because sometimes it's just like life. People can be distractions. I mean, you have the right person in there to go hard. And that's how I roll with life too, though. I mean, the right person, cool. But for the most part, I mean, when I work out, I'm by myself. I'm by myself all the time. My wife, she come in sometimes because, she'll max out and stuff with her or whatever. But most of the time, schedule-wise, I think it's good to work out by yourself to get yourself together mentally.
And then she asked, she said, "Do you have any advice to get my husband off the couch to go work out?"
Get him off the couch. Man, I don't know. He gotta want to do that himself. Like I really don't have no advice for that. Somebody want to get their health together, they gotta want. If you have a scare, sometimes about it, but you really don't want, no advice for
Yeah, and
that.
that's kind of one of my problems because my dad had passed from heart failure and whatnot, and I was like, man, I got to do something. I got to do this, and it's hard sometimes to do it,
Right.
especially with my schedule. I have Irish twins
Yeah.
that are both toddlers, so it's rough sometimes trying to do all that. And now I'm busy with the podcast now and adding and everything else. But I tell you what, I did get a workout yesterday going to that parade. I had to walk 10 blocks, and I'm used to walking
Oh
anyway.
yeah.
But on the way back, I had to walk all uphill. I was like, "Woo!" But I was
Yeah, you
good
got
though.
it in. You got a good one
I
then.
got it in. I said, "Oh, I got my workout in for the day." But no,
Most
I
definitely.
definitely got to get back into it heavy like I used to be. I used to be really into heavy. I had lost a bunch of weight at one time. Started gaining back,
Yeah.
lost it again. Started gaining back, lost it again. Just doing the whole yo-yo thing, and I'm like, I got to get this off me and be good to go.
Right, most definitely.
She says, thank you for answering that question for me. She said, and I made sure my husband heard what you just said.
Hey, this is good, man. Hey, long as he want it, and he's serious about it, he'll make it happen. Do it. So
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Trice, how you doing, man? Shout out to her. Every day, hold on, I want to pause for a minute. Every day, this is what she does. She promotes my channel every day. Every day, she'll do playbacks on my channel.
Lord.
I thank you so much for that. And she comes into the live. She says, "Hey." She comes. I mean, she really comes through.
There's love right there.
Definitely. And I owe you a wrench for that. And the wrench is coming. I can't do it right now while I'm on the live, but it's coming. Matter of fact,
Straight
yeah,
up,
I can.
straight
Where's my
up.
mouse? I forgot I'm on this one too. Where's my mouse?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, it's done. It says pending. That's the first time I ever saw it say
Got to
pending.
show.
Okay, so let me keep going on with the questions. I had another person ask me, and he said, "Yes, I'm a guy." He said, "How do you know if you're getting a good deal on finding a box Chevy?" He said, "I found one. It's just the body. Body's in great condition. Interior's in decent condition, but I'm redo it anyway." He said, "Just for the body, they want $650 for. But the body
Snatch it
has
up.
no dents, just faded paint."
Snatch that up. That's the deal. That's the deal for a box
I was
Chevy.
just about to tell him,
I
like, man,
mean,
you know what? You need to go ahead and snatch that up. He said he
you
already put
should
down a
you need to
$200 deposit on it, and he was teeter-tottering on whether to get it or not. He said, "I'm thinking about going
now he good.
LS." He said, "I'm thinking about going to LS swap only because I have an LS donor vehicle in my yard, which is an old work truck I have that's falling apart, but the engine's real good. I'm thinking about taking it out and redoing it, putting it in." Hey, man, I say redo it, put it in, but while you redoing it, throw a cam in it. If you go ahead and turbocharge it,
Yep.
set it up right, get somebody to do it. "Oh, what up, Box? I see you." But that's what I would do. He said, "Appreciate it." Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Everybody's sending me these on this. Ever since I started this other little app, everybody sends me private messages to ask everybody. I kind of like it.
Right, right. That's what's
Um,
up.
Now, one of the things I do want you to talk about, I want you to talk about the feeling you had when you sold Big Meech, and then when you turn around and found Big Meech and bought her back.
Man. Boy. When I sold Big Meats, it was back in 2011. 2000 Big Meats. And I know, man, you were
That's right
talking
before I left
earlier,
Atlanta.
I talked on my channel, but I mean, I sold
I
Big
remember.
Meats, man. And the deal is, like I said, my wife, and I used to really drive that quick car. All my cars been real street cars.
Mm-hmm.
I used to drive that car daily. Like I had another box, a half vinyl box, but Big Meech was my baby, so I drove it every day, and I was like, man, I said I can't drive this car. I said I can't drive this car every day. I ain't have no heater box in. The heater box is pretty much what controls the heat to your car for people that don't know. So Long story short, I sold the car, and man, the car was gone. The car was gone 7 years. And the way I found that car back, for people that don't know, like I'm real big in the race community, the grudge racing community. So man, I posted up a throwback Thursday picture of the car. Somebody DM me the car, and car. You know when you know your car, I said, that's my car, man. Still, just like I was a ghost. So, man, the guy got the title, because I wanted to buy the car right then and there. I was like, who got the title? He was saying it's my homeboy car that's locked up. The paperwork. Asking about the paperwork, I wouldn't get a clear answer. So I was like, man, the paperwork probably screwed up on the car, so I fell back from it. 2 months later, I'm down in Florida, in Orlando, filming No Guts, No Glory, one of the biggest grudge racing events, and I'm out in the field filming.
I know it. I've been there.
Exactly. So I'm out there filming a guy named Hot Rod, not Cut the Check Hot Rod. I know a lot of y'all probably think.
I was about to say, is it that Hot Rod?
Hot Rod. It's another Hot Rod.
Okay.
But he was on the fence, and he was like, hey, I got your car. I was like, what? He like, yeah, I got it at my house. I said, you got the paperwork? He said, I got the paperwork and everything. We told him, I said, as soon as we get back from Florida, I'm gonna come get the car. Man, we got back. He said he was back. I couldn't get to him that day. So man, I just sent him the money. I sent him the money. I was like, man, I want the car. I'm serious. I know you. We've been knowing each other for years. We trust each other. So I sent him the money. Man, when I got up there and got that car, man, I walked to that backyard and saw that car. Man, I almost shed a tear. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I like shed a tear, man. It's like a part of the family. It's crazy.
And you know what? I know that feeling. Like I explained to you and everybody else probably don't know. I had a 2-door Orlando box Chevy. It was an 89, I think it was. I had the car. Nothing was wrong with it. Transmission had a little slip here and there. I put another $700 transmission in it that I had bought and built. I paid like $800 for transmission. Guy had it on the floor and whatnot. Put it in. Had a nice little 2200 stall and whatnot. I drove that car for a while. This guy needed a car real bad. He wanted an old school car real bad. And he said, man, I'd love to have that car you got. Because I already had a bunch of cars. I said, you know what? I'll sell you the car. We worked out a deal, sold him the car. He has then since now snatched out that 350 that was in it because he drove it ragged. And he could have rebuilt it, but he said, you know what? I got an LS engine sitting right here. I'm going to go ahead and get it built, put it in. And he did. Got it built, put it in. Has an LS3 in it, souped up. I think it's twin turbocharged now. First it was just one turbo. I think it's twin turbocharged now. And he sends me pictures of that car all the time. And I said, I want my car back.
yeah, exactly, man. For real.
Because I love that car. What up, Pony 1992? What's happening? I wanted that car from the moment I sold it to him. I was like, I don't think I should have sold you that car. Man, you don't need it. You got this and you got that, and you're gonna be leaving it. You're gonna be leaving this way soon. Nah, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And this is before box Chevys was real popular. He just liked it because he liked the color it was. It was the burgundy color that came on the 96 SS. Yeah, 96 SS Impala. And I just added some dark purple pearls to it. I added a few little touches to it and painted it myself. Back when I was painting cars real heavy. And Box Performance said, what up? So next thing I know, after I did all that, I sold it to him. And I had a little set of little 18s on it, thought I was doing something. And now he got it caked up. He got the rim shortened, the frame notch. He got a set of 8s tucked up underneath it. Got some half tubs up underneath. I mean, he got it done up right. And I said, I want my car back. Yeah. And he got to sit on a set of Sandman. And I said, I want it back.
I know the feeling.
He said, you know, I've done a lot to that car since then. I said, "Do you know how I got that car?" And I never told him the story. I said, "The story is that the car belonged to an older lady that died." I said, and a buddy
Right.
of mine had it in his garage, and he ended up getting shipped off because he was in the military. Ended up getting shipped off to Iraq, and he was like, "Man, I'm just gonna sell you the car because I don't want to put it in storage, and I don't know what's gonna happen." So I bought the car for $1,500. He paid nothing for it. I bought it $1,500. There's a lady that he knew that died, that he got it from, whatever. And I sold it to my buddy. I said, "I sold it to you for basically a little bit more than what I paid for it because of what I had to do with the transmission." I said, "And since then, you done all the storage to this car. This car probably worth about 20,000 now." He said, "Yeah." He said, "I got about that in it." He said, "But man, I mean, the rubber's good on it." And he said the only other thing he had to do was he had to put door bushes on it. He said the door was sagging on the passenger side, so I went ahead and changed them both all the way around. I said, "It's the best thing to do." I said, "It don't cost that much to do that." He said, "No, me and another buddy of mine, we did it right here in my garage." I said, "Yeah, you do that." He said, "Yeah, it only cost me for the whole pack. It cost me $10 for the whole pack." And I did that, but he said, "But I got a guy to do the LS engine for me. Me and my buddy that helped do those, we threw it in and we did everything to it, and that was it." So I know that feeling when you saw that car and you wanted it back, and it was like, I want it back. You got it back. You ain't never trying to get rid of it again. You're trying to put it back in the game. I like what you're doing with it. You're doing a budget build. I like what you're doing, and it's showing a lot of people that don't know. You don't have to put a lot of money in a car to get a decent build.
Right. Now that's a different car though, right?
Yeah, I know that one's a different one, which we're going to get into.
Yeah. Okay. I know some people think it's
so. Now that we get to get into that, you have a whole nother box.
Yep.
And that's the one you're doing the budget bill on.
Yeah, that's the one I'm doing the budget bill on. Yep.
I remember you was looking for a set of wheels. You found a set of eights to go on it. And I like how you documented that down the road for people like me and others that are in the big wheels. They're able to basically follow that along. Be like, you know what? I can do that and not spend a lot of money. Like, I don't know if you remember Universal Car Lifts down in South Georgia.
Yeah.
I used to buy a lot of parts from him doing cars with. And somebody had asked me, "Hey, how did you get your 2060 to fit?" And I said, "Well, I bought a few parts from Universal Car Lifts. I just called them up because I know the guy down there. I say, hey, man, I need all your thing bushings. I need this. I need that. I need this." What up, Cortez? So I told this guy that he couldn't believe it. And I sent him the website and he was like, "Wow, everything's right here." I said, "Yeah." They said everything in the package kit, but I only needed a few things. So I told him what I needed. He told me what it cost. I paid for it over the phone. It came in 4 days.
Right.
And it didn't cost me a whole lot to redo my suspension. And I wanted to redo it so it looked factory, but it's not factory. My brakes that are on the front are the big brake kits. The brakes in the back are the big drums for a truck. But I wanted it to look like it was stock, especially after I put the LT4 in there. I want people to not know that that's in there. Not unless you really follow me online. But if you saw it, you'd be like, "Oh, it's nice as a regular car," until I hit that push button start. And you're like, "Whoa."
Yeah, it's on there. Well, definitely.
So definitely, y'all, if y'all haven't been following this build that he's doing on this other box, definitely follow it. And I have another question somebody just put up. They want to know about the Camaro. They want to know what type of setup you have in there. I said, they must have been following it. Want to know what type of setup you have in there and the size turbo you got.
The Camaro. Yeah, I did a full video on that car. I don't grudge race.
I know. I seen the whole video and they asked me this and I was like, well, maybe they didn't see the video. So I'm not going to be mean to them.
They probably did. But I don't grudge race a car for people that don't know. If you don't know what grudge racing is, they're not saying I don't race. I'm going to race people. It's just that I don't know time race, meaning I don't not tell what my time running. But the setup is not a 5.7 because a lot of people think it's the factory 5.7 that came in the car. It's a 6.0.
No, it's not that.
And it's it's a 6.0, and it's actually a lot done to the chassis. It's just set up to look. said that in a comment on one of my videos. Like, the car looks so plain. I like, that's how I want it. It looks
I
plain,
saw that
but
comment.
it got it's a 6.0. It's not a junkyard, but it's bottom end, forged piston, forged 8-spin rods. It
That's
has
the
a
way to go, though.
it has an aftermarket
What up,
camshaft
Goldie?
in it. It's just not a radical cut on it, but we got springs. Man, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a 78mm turbo billet wheel. It's a VS Racing turbo. I'm about to switch it to a precision turbo, a big boy. And you got a tubular K member in it. Carolina driveline, drive shaft, 8.8 in it. It's not the factory 8.5. It got all the goodies. BMR suspension, BMR lower.
And the same guy asked, what gears are you running?
Gears, it's a 355. 355 gear. You don't necessarily need a big gear running a turbo or forced induction car all the time. I mean, it depends on the wheels and stuff you're running too. And I did a video on that. That video,
I've seen that video.
A lot of hits on YouTube. How big rims affect your gear, but it's a 355.
Yes.
70 miles per hour up the highway. I got a 400 transmission. I mean, I like overdrives, but when you're trying to really race and get down, you go with a 3-speed or you go with a power glide. So I got a 3-speed T8 400 trans brake, reverse manual valve body. The Camaro, it's a pretty nice car. It made 617 horsepower to the wheels on 10 pounds of boost and 93 octane pump gas, not even E85. So
appreciate you, Pony, for stopping by. And you're right about that. That was one of the things that I talked about with somebody else I had on my live about gear ratio. Like for my deuce and a quarter, I'm running 26s. I got 373s in there. And before I had the 373s, before we had put them in, which is the guy, shout out to Scott Performance. Before we had put him in, he was like, well, and at the time I was going to build a 6.2 out of Escalade to put in there. And he said, well, for what you got and for these wheels, because these wheels are not real heavy. And he was like, they're just big. He said, you can do 373s with this big car and with your setup because you're trying to drive it. You're not trying to race. I said, no. He said, I know your driver style. You're not trying to get out here. You might spin a wheel here and there, but you ain't trying to go crazy. Not in this car. I said, no, not in this car. He said, so you can do 373s and we can do the package that already came with what I already have, which is basically the, mine came out of when I have an LT4 I'm building, it came out of a 2016 Vet.
Right.
So I have that, the transmission that came with it. And the only thing we had to do to the transmission was add a different shift kit in it, change the module in it. And also I went with a little bit bigger torque converter. That was it.
Right. Nice.
And that part is waiting to go in. I have to put the new manifolds. I actually talked about it in my live. After I changed Pro Chargers for the 3rd time, but the Pro Charger I got on, I love it. I'm glad I went with it. Did a dyno run, and the manifolds got red hot, and they split like a loaf of bread, both of them. Yeah. So luckily they were still under warranty because they were aftermarket. Sent them back, went with a different company, and have them. They're still in a box. I just ain't put them on yet.
Right.
But they should work a whole lot better because I told him, and he said, "Yo, these are rated." He said these are rated for race. He said the new ones ones from a different company they sent me, they rated for race. He said they rated for, I think it was like 2,500 horsepower and this and that and this and that. And he said they streetable. He said I got to give you these adapters, and they sent adapters with them to go on because it has a funny flinge on the end.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. So I just ain't had time to do any of that. Sometime the other I'm gonna go by and do it. The only time I had time was the day the city was shut down, which was yesterday. One other question on here that just popped up. Somebody asked, I'm trying to read what they said. Okay, you got to put that in English. I got to put that in English. Let's go to the next one. Oh, okay, they did put it in English. They put it next. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you put the next one. Okay, they asked for this year, being you have your Camaro ready. What are the events you're going to attend with your Camaro?
I don't know just yet. I don't really have a schedule set. I mean, I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow. I mean, be wherever. Like with Camaro in the box, I'm just gonna kind of be all over between events in Georgia. Definitely see South Carolina, possibly North Carolina. Yeah, I'll be in North Carolina because I got a ride reaction, man. It's actually a football player in the NFL, so I got that coming up. So I'll be in North Carolina, probably just to surround the states. But I definitely know I've been in the Carolina and Georgia with Camaro and all that. And the big rim car, it'll be all over. It'll be all over.
Okay. Let's tell Box what's happening. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so some are everywhere. So, or if I mean,
okay, that same person said that they would just follow along with your channel to find out where you want to be at. They said they really would like to meet you because they have a Camaro just like it that they just built. They got a LS3 in it, and it looks all stock on the outside. It's a convertible.
Oh yeah, I want to see that myself.
Just waiting to get it tuned now.
Yeah. Just tune in to try to do better with, especially my vlog channel. Cause I know I got JMalcom 2004. Cause a lot of people don't know that either. I got this.
Yes, and you know I talked about that. I'm gonna talk about it on here.
Yeah.
Please tell people you are the same person, because somebody sent that message thought you had a twin brother.
Yeah, no. Look, cause I understand. It's people. I done built the audience with my vlog channel. Cause my vlog channel been popping off lately. It just now catching steam, and I've been real active on my vlog channel, which is JMalcom 2004 Rides, and that's where all my personal rides, me and my family, or shops I go is over there on that channel. But my big channel, which is JMalcom 2004, is like two totally different audiences. So the people on my vlog channel some of them don't even know I have that channel. But that's where, when I'm going to these race events all over, and I travel all over for everybody watching. When I'm going to these different race events, that's where I post all of that footage on that channel. JMalcom 2004, all the grudge races, whether it's big rim or whether it's just traditional small tire grudge racing. It's all on that channel. So I always say I got a unique position. I got a unique position when it comes to the race world and the YouTube space, because I'm one of the few creators that I'm on both sides of the fence. Like, I'm into big rim racing, real heavy, and people. I got a lot of supporters over there because that's where I come from. But since I'm so heavy in the small tire grudge game, I got a nice support system over there too. So, I'm kind of in between with both of them.
Definitely. That part I do know, but for the one person that answered that question, hopefully that answers it. That asked that question. Also, Box Performance wanted to know, which I already know the answer to this. He said, "How does JMalcom get in the pit for footage? Basically, how you're able to get in the pit area for footage?" Now, I'm gonna let you answer it, and I'm gonna give my take on it because I've gotten the pit a lot of times for a lot of events that was going on. But I'm gonna let you tell your side, and then I'll tell mine.
All right. This right here depend real heavily on the caliber of the event too. But for the most part, with me, it's my face card. It's my face card, and it's the size of the movement. Like, just being known. Being known helps a lot. But when you're not known and you're trying to build yourself up, if you get with their promoter ahead of time, most promoters are pretty cool. I ain't gonna say everybody, but most promoters are pretty cool, and they know any form of exposure help. That's why I tell promoters, I'm like, don't neglect nobody. Don't we got to keep it PG-13 on here, right?
Not really, because it ain't for kids.
All right, but basically, I tell them don't shit on anybody. Don't
you go.
Don't shit on anybody, no matter if they're coming up, they got 100 subscribers, or if they got 100,000, because most promoters like, hey, this exposure. So if you get with the promoter of the event far enough out, they might get you a media pass. So, you know, they might say, well, you got to pay at the gate, but we can get you in the pits at least, and you can go about it that way. But for me, it's mostly the face card. I mean, to keep it real, but when you go into a huge event, like a high level event, even if you got a face card, you got to get with, you know, sometimes you got to fill out applications and get with the people way ahead of time. Like Outlaw Armageddon. Outlaw Armageddon is the street outlaw event, or one of the biggest no prep events. Like you have to get with these people 2-3 months out. And you know, it's a real deal application. They want to know your platform and all of that. And then they'll take about 2 months, and they'll give you like a gold pass or blue, might put you in the green zone or whatever. So it just depends on the level of event. But for the most part, just reach out to the promoter and give them enough time. Give them enough time, you know, you have a chance of getting in the pit. So
exactly. And that was kind of one of the things I was going to say. And another thing, Box, I think you was want to ask that question. One of the other things I was going to say is this. For me, when I was able to get into a lot of the pit areas and a lot of the exclusive areas, especially JMalcom, you know about this event, the V103 car show, and when 107 Nights do the car show, I used to get in behind the scenes. Like, how the hell you get behind the scenes? I got in touch with somebody, and usually I knew somebody. And if I didn't, I found a way to get in touch with somebody who was either part of the event or knew somebody who was a part of the event. And I would explain to them what I'm doing, and I want a media pass. I always make sure it was a media pass, because the media pass will get you into every little thing. And for V103 car show, the first time I got a chance to go back there in the back, it was because of one of the guys I was doing security back in my security days. We worked together. He said, I'll get you that. He told me where to come, when to get there, and he got my media pass, and I was able to go backstage and go to where all the artists were setting up, go to where they were setting up stuff. And I got to go in early. I got to go in because he had me come to 2 hours early before it opened. And I was able to just go straight on in. He came, gave me my pass, and told me, yeah, come on in. And he walked me in. And it was because I was filming everything. He said, hey, man, as long as you got your camera, you get a media pass. Now, things have changed since then. This back when a lot of people wasn't doing it, a lot of people are. For certain events, you might have to jump through different loops to get it. Or they might only have you, for security reasons, only be in certain areas. Oh, appreciate it. Like, for instance, after what happened at an event where Dunkmaster was racing at, when his sprocket, when his pulley flew off, hit somebody, now they're more cautious about where they want people to stand. And me and Catfish talked about this. I know Catfish, I know you're probably still in here. I don't ever get in that certain area anyway. I always try to get by the pro tree or above. And for me to get my best shot, because I always had a tripod, I would always get in a certain area where nobody wanted to be in, because I can sit and zoom as far as I can, and as close as I can, and it seemed like I'm right there on the track. Now, you do have some of the people out here racing where they will let you put your GoPros on cars. Some will, some won't. I was able to get my GoPro on somebody's car and put my other one inside of somebody's car, my other little camera inside of somebody's car, to get a whole big reaction of what was going on and get behind the scenes. And this is when I had my other channel. So now, to answer that, Box, that's how you go about doing that. And for certain events, especially events I'm going to be at, Box, if you're going to, I can tell you how to get what you need.
Right.
So that sums up that part of it. Another person asked me, for the car that you're building with, that you're putting the 28s on, even though it's a budget build, would you ever consider going forged wheels? Any type of forged type wheel.
That's a great question, man, because I kind of want to talk about this. I got a video coming on this too.
Oh, I didn't want to give away the video.
No. The video gonna be nothing like nobody's ever done. So it's definitely gonna be it's a lot of thought that went into this video, cause I came into the big rim game, and a lot of people really not familiar and don't know their history. You know, when it comes to the big rim stuff, like the deep history. But I've been around a long time. But I mean, I got out of it when I got into grudge racing deeply, and now I'm just getting back in it. But I would go forged wheels. I like forged wheels. It's a lot that I like, but what I noticed with the game now versus when I was in it is I noticed a lot of people do stuff for approval. They might not admit it, they might not admit it deep down inside, but a lot of people will go get a forged wheel just for approval, whether it's used or whatever, just cause they feel like it's, hey, this is what I have to get approved by the culture or the bulk of the culture. But I mean, I'm not against forged wheels, but I'm just against what doing something and that you don't really want to do in your heart. If I buy a forged wheel, which I will, I'm going to get something that I really like. It's not going to be because everybody's saying, I bought off-brand eights, which it's for the bill anyway. And I wouldn't have bought those eights. I actually like them. I like the way they look. I wasn't gonna buy just any type of rim, even though it's a budget bill. I was gonna have to buy something that I like. But when I do switch and go get a forged wheel or a name brand wheel, it's gonna be something that I want in my heart. It's not to get approval from the internet, everybody else in the culture. It's just doing what I like. So that's the kind of bulk of what my video will be about. That was a good question.
Yeah, shout out to LX65. LS65. Because and I remember touching that on one of my lives because somebody asked me about my wheels when I did my very first live, and I did it in my garage with my car. I picked those wheels because I liked them, and they're halos, they're Halo wheels. I picked because I liked them and I saw what I could do with them to make them different and unique. And I like the price because I bought them from the guy that owns the shop. They were on his 66 Pontiac. So, and he went to Forgiatos, which now he's on something else. He changed his wheels like he changed his drawers because he owns a rim shop.
Yeah.
So he took those wheels off. Somebody told me about them. I contacted him and I said, hey, I'd like to buy those Helos that you had. And he said, okay. He said, well, I will install them on brand new tires because I took the tires off and put the tires on my forged wheels that I got now. He said, they're not really like anything else. And I said, I don't care. I don't follow trend. I just want to get a set of 26s to go on here. I made up my mind it was going to be 26s or 8s. And I made up my mind I'm going to go with 26s, and this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking to spend. And you are what I want to spend on from what somebody told me. Let's work out a deal. We worked out a deal. I got them for a great price. To me, the tires were worth what he was selling them for.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, go price a brand new set of 26-inch tires and you'll see. So
exactly.
I went on ahead and got them, brought them home, and they sat in my garage. I took the pieces off because they were black, and I scuffed them, treated them, painted them white in my garage, painted them white. I found something online with this lady, and this lady, she's in China. She makes car emblems. And she'd done a lot of stuff for Paul Wall and a few other people and whatnot. And I found her just searching online. And she said, yeah, I have an eBay page, I have this. And I went to the eBay page and she had something I liked. I said, look, I like how you did this with this carbon fiber on. She said, yeah, it's real carbon fiber. I said, look, I want an emblem made and I only want it made at 2 inches all the way around. She said, okay. She said, I could do that. She said, what is it going on? So I'm going to use it as a wheel insert. And that's what's inside my wheel insert. There's a Buick. It says Buick Motorsports in the emblem. And I had designed that myself. And it has real carbon fiber in it. And it's not plastic. It's actually real metal that's triple chrome.
That's what's up.
And I glued it and screwed it to that thing. And it looks good. And it's different. It's not something that somebody else has done. It's something different. And I tell people, this is what I like. I said I had the money to buy Forgiatos. At that time, Forgiatos was the biggest thing. It was just starting when I bought those wheels. Matter of fact, I remember seeing them at a car event, and they just had a few wheels, and they were just taking pre-orders. And then another buddy of mine that's in Florida that makes wheels, he was starting his. Then I ran into Sandman. Sandman was making his wheels, and I really like what Sandman had. He almost had me sold. But I had already bought those wheels already. I would have bought them. Because he, at the time, was like, I customized the wheel to whatever you want. I said, what? He said, you like the design, and you see the emblem of Chevy? You got a Buick. I do a Buick design in the middle. What? He said, I'll do a Buick design with your name in the middle. You want your name, you want this, I'll do that, and it won't cost anything extra what I already had. So that's why I was like, oh, wow. And I kind of was on the fence of what to do, but I already had bought those wheels. So I'm going to go with those wheels and put them on. And they look good. And them wheels right now don't even have 1,000 miles on them. Period. Because I haven't driven that far.
That's what it's about.
And they
That's
still
what it's
look
about.
brand new. And I love them. Box Performance said he's gonna love those IK200s. I have them on my 421 small block Chevy. Okay. I'm now I'm reading some of the comments up here. I don't know if you can see them. Cortez Restaurant said, I feel due to what you can afford and be happy with it. Facts, JMalcom. Don't get caught up in what's now 6,000 plus for rims. The rims is 800 horsepower, LS turbo money. Man, you know what? You so right about that, Cortez. And I'm not one to get caught up in that. I'm doing something I like. I didn't care if anybody like it. I remember going to a car show and everybody had these forged wheels. Oh, man, you need forged wheels? No, I'm good where I'm at. Oh, you do this? No, I'm good. Mm-hmm. And I was the only one with a deuce and a quarter there. Everybody else had box Chevys and Donks and everything else. And it was so crazy. I was so different that I won the top award because the guy said, we voted because it's different. He said, don't get me wrong. Everybody else, he said, I'm going to tell you right now, that car over there, which was it was 7-tray vert. They said, that don't look good, but you know what? Look how many more of them here like that. You got something totally different that caught our eye, and it looks more original than anything, but we know it ain't original because we heard you pull in and we heard those electric fans running. I said, well, it's a 350 in there right now. Also, a rocket engine right now, blah, 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 blah. I said, it got this heads on that. I said, but I'm actually going to LS engine. They said, oh, man, that's going to even be different. I said, yeah, you know, that guy had an LS engine. He said, but it's different. He said, tell me, how many deuce and a quarters you seen riding around the city? And I said, you know what? I only seen one. I said, it's that blue one that's over there. I met him at another car show. And he told me about this car show at West Bottom. So we rode here together. I met it with him and then we rode here together. I said, he's the only one. And he got 24s on his. And it was like, yeah, we don't see that many of them. He said, and he got best paint. Because, I mean, his thing is candy painted out. But yeah, keep grinding New York and stay. You and your cars is fire. Man, appreciate it, Cortez. Appreciate it, man. I am going to keep grinding. Everybody was like, dang, you are really grinding. You throwing them out. You throwing out these vids. You throwing out this. You doing these interviews.
Yeah,
moving. I'm like, yeah. I'm out here grinding, even though my wife sometimes give me hell about it. Like, damn, every time I turn around, you doing something with YouTube, or you filming, or you doing this, you pulling out your camera, you doing. Man, I'm out here trying to do it. I got to treat it like it's my baby and treating it like it's a career. I got to do it.
Got to. That's how you
Especially being something I love and standing behind. Well, anybody on here else got any questions? We coming up on almost an hour that fast. That's how fast an hour comes up. But I want to make sure I answered everybody's questions. Okay, here go that same person, JMalcom, I told you about. I'm not answering that question. Go ahead and IG him about that. She said, oh, I will. You ain't got to be. No, I'm not being mean. It's just those type of questions I don't ask people on here. This is not the hookup page. You have those questions, you ask him. I'm not going to do that.
It's crazy.
Because I already said to him already before. Go on his IG and you send him that message and he'll answer it for you. Steady sending. She's sending the whole paragraph. Yeah, send him on there. Ask him. Okay, we're going to move on. Everybody doing their thing. Yeah, you're right, OC. Everybody's doing their thing. But JMalcom, I want to definitely thank you for coming on here, taking the time out of your busy schedule. Because a lot of people on here like me got so much love and supporting you through all your endeavors you're doing, and I'm following all the pages. Period. I follow all of them. Even the fitness one, because I've learned some stuff from that. I'm like, yeah, man, yeah. And to the person that asked that question, he does not have a twin brother. Those are his pages. It was confusing.
They might.
He does not have a twin brother. It's really him. He has not been hacked. It's him. He has two pages doing separate things.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, it's it.
But yes, but I'm definitely going to have you on here again because I know you're going to get so much further in your bills. We're going to come on here and talk about it.
Got to. You know that, man. I appreciate you having me, man. You're doing a great job.
Definitely,
for real.
Definitely. And also, definitely shout out to your boy with the blue colors. I got to get him on. I got to hit him up to get him on because I love what he's doing. I love his intro. I love the hell out of his intro. I definitely got to get him on here.
Oh, yeah.
And definitely shout out to the two ladies that wrote that I put in the promo because I got people asking me 50 million questions about them. I'm gonna have them on and let y'all ask them questions. Okay, how about that?
Yeah, they'll be
So
on.
I
They'll
put
be
their
on.
pages on there so you can ask them questions. But I will have them on here one day. JMalcom already said he'll reach out to them. I'll have them on here. We'll answer all those questions. How about that? We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Appreciate it, Cortez. Definitely
Yeah.
good talk. Definitely. So I'm not gonna hold you up. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. I normally end it with a story, but Queen being on here, I'll save the story for tomorrow because you always want to hear one of the stories. The only story I am going to leave is this. I'm gonna say this story right here, and J Malcolm, you stick around and hear this story.
All right.
When I first decided to move to Atlanta at the time, I moved to Atlanta in 2000. I went to University of Georgia, go dog. When I went there and whatnot, had great times. Seen a lot of famous people come through. A lot of people don't know Bill Goldberg, the wrestler. He went to school there, played there, and also played for the Falcons. He was there. I got a chance to meet Herschel Walker a few times. Real good, calm, real good dude, man. Took his time out to talk to all of us, whatnot, because we standing by the student section and whatnot. But one of the craziest things I got to see was, and it was homecoming, Pastor Troy brought out, he did no more playing GA. They were playing Tennessee during homecoming, and he brought them out. The whole crowd got hyped, and I didn't see it coming. He jumped right in the student section, and he jumped basically in my lap because I was at the bottom of the student section when he jumped. So I was holding him up like this the whole time. And shout out to one of my boys. He actually sent me that picture because I forgot he was there. He sent me the picture a couple of weeks ago, which I need to post up, with me holding him up and doing this. And all you saw was me with my long braids at the time. That's how long ago it was. That's the only story I'm telling today. Shout out to Pastor Troy for doing that and for not giving me a black eye jumping. Shout out to him, period. Shout out JMalcom for coming through. We're definitely going to have him come back. And shout out to everybody who's been in here, rock with me since the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm coming back tomorrow. Tomorrow's guest is no different from everybody else, but he's definitely one of the people that I admire as well. And that's the LSWAT guru. He will be in the place to be tomorrow. The live will be a little later because he's in the West Coast. If y'all don't know, for those that do know, he's in the West Coast. So I had to kind of arrange for this time. I will put the countdown on IG, and I already had the promo drop with the time on it, and I will drop it again. JMalcom, thank you for coming through, man. And I'm definitely gonna have you on again. Until then, I'm gonna tell everybody, be safe, be kind to one another, and I'll definitely see y'all tomorrow. Another promo is also dropping today, and the countdown will be on my IG for when the LSWAT guru is going to grace us in the place to be. Maybe he might bring that magic carpet I can fly on like Aladdin. We don't know. But until then, I'll see everybody later. Peace.